to.
Okay.
Here it goes. Now we are.
Okay.
Now we are doing the streaming.
I'm doing a little streaming myself right now.
Oh,
Going.
that's what you need the extra cup for.
Stream's going right down my leg.
Yikes.
Jellyfish sting. Is that what it?
Wow.
Just for fun.
Wow.
Just practicing, just in case. Preparation.
No, just for fun.
Okay. See, you're
For
making it weird.
funsies.
I'm trying to give
Doesn't
you.
have to be. You know, tis the reason for the season. You know.
It's all about bodily fluids with you.
Well, what other kind of fluids are there?
It's weird, man.
It's like nature's water.
Hello and welcome to episode 719 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
The Chris Johnston?
That's right, the one
same.
and only.
Wow. I'm
How you doing?
amazed.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd complain, but who'd listen?
Exactly. Neither me nor Phil.
Exactly.
Joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
How's it going, Royal Ugly Dudes?
Yeah, you sweating? It's hot up here.
Who, me?
It's hot here in Seattle.
Oh my goodness. I'm floating in me trousers over here.
It's 90, 96, 97 degrees.
That's gross.
It's up there.
It's up there.
It's up there. I'm getting
Right. It's warm.
a salt bath on my crotch.
What now?
That sounds like it would burn.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's why you use a medicated salve.
Okay.
Greg was horrified before the start of the show when I mentioned that I had to go get a refill on my water.
No,
He was-
I'm not horrified, surprised,
You were shocked. and
Shocked.
confused.
Shocked to learn.
confused.
Did you
drink enough
All of
water to
these
need a
are
refill?
proper
Occasionally.
descriptors of how I
Here
was
you can
feeling.
hear.
Oh,
that?
Sounds
This
like
is-
a fine drink you got there.
it's like an
This is a,
ASMR thing we got going on with
yeah.
the water.
One more
Nice.
for the road.
You can almost sense the cool, refreshing ice just pouring right down your trousers. The front or the back,
What
it doesn't
now?
See,
matter.
it always goes.
What?
It doesn't matter. Whichever one you prefer.
Uh-huh.
Get some in the crack, it'll send you back. I'm
What?
in recent weeks I have been drinking. If you watch the YouTube's videos and you see
Watch the
me
video.
hold up a glass, in this case,
Star Wars?
no, this is a missile
Wars, man.
command.
Nothing
Missile
but
command, okay.
Star Wars.
This is an
Atari.
official Atari
Ooh,
pint glass. I have a whole
Yeah.
series, like an asteroid one, and
fancy.
I think a
Those are-
Tempest one, perhaps.
Those are fancy, yeah.
Yeah, with the old arcade cabinet art on there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been enjoying some water because it has been warm out here.
Warm here.
in recent weeks, and today-
Unseasonably
Yep.
warm today.
well, I mean,
It's summer.
It's summer, so no, it's very seasonably warm.
But maybe not for
It's just not for this
This
area,
area of the country.
Of the country, yes.
Yeah.
Seattle does not typically get as hot as it is today,
correct.
but
yeah.
today, boy, oh boy,
Guys
Boy,
need to move to the
howdy.
East Coast.
it is warm.
It is warm.
So yeah, I'm drinking a little H2O. I got some little chunks
Refreshing.
of frozen
Refreshing.
Frozen
H2O in there.
H2O as well. Yeah.
Yeah, some frozen. Yeah, I got some
Frozen
frozen.
vodka.
Got some
I got some solid. I have some liquid in here. I just need
That whole glass is a chemistry experiment.
I just need some steam in here as well. Maybe I'll turn on the shower, crank up the heat real high. We can have a cavalcade of states of matter.
This is a bizarre conversation.
Well, yeah.
yes.
I'm going to enjoy a
So-
drink right now. Go ahead.
Let's talk about some video game news. Why don't we? Halo Infinite has been delayed.
It was as I was enjoying a long, cool sip of water.
Yeah.
and I could
sucked on an ice cube.
No. CJ was starting the Halo Infinite, and I knew where he was going with it. It had been delayed, and I was very seriously contemplating waiting for him to finish the has been delayed, and then just do a spit take.
A spit take, but you would have gotten water on your monitor there.
You know what would have been more
all
impressive?
over my monitor, all over my printer. I have a book here that I would have gotten all wet, so I decided.
You know what would have been more
to.
impressive though is if you'd
What's that?
actually started responding to the headline while still drinking water.
Oh,
It
yes.
just the water pouring down my
well,
chin.
no, I mean no, that's not the trick.
What is the trick?
Well, it looks like you're still just
do
drinking
some
the
bubbles.
water, but you're
There's
talking at the
bubbles in
same
there.
time.
Oh, like a ventriloquist kind of thing.
yes.
Oh, okay. But that only works if I have a ventriloquist dummy.
Well, CJ's there.
Oh,
Hey now.
wow.
Hey now. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
CJ, are you going to put up with that?
Yes, I am.
Look
All
at
right,
this.
so Halo Infinite
Man,
has been delayed
this guy's like Ted Cruz over here. Takes
into
the insults and says thank you.
into 2021.
Political. Keep your politics out of my gaming podcast.
Wow.
Anyway, go on.
Yikes. Anyway,
Go
Halo
on.
Infinite delayed till 2021. No specified time in 2021, just
Right.
2021. In part because of the challenges of producing a game of this size during the pandemic.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, what is the big launch game for the
So
Xbox Series X?
I mean, that puts a big question mark on that, right? Because Microsoft first party, I don't know that they really have any heavy hitters.
I mean, all the
coming
other
out in
first
that
party
time.
stuff was launch window or later, right?
Launch window or later, yeah. Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting. I mean, it was already going to be a sort of non-traditional console launch with Microsoft really pushing the Game Pass angle of it.
Yeah.
But now without like a big platform exclusive launch title, it's going to be even stranger.
Stranger Things.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's got to be, this is a devastating piece of news for Microsoft just in terms of selling game consoles in the fourth quarter. I don't think there's a way that you can spin it as a positive or or anything like that. You maybe as an Xbox fan, there's kind of like a hope that they're able to weather the storm until Halo comes out in 2021. But without a big launch game, I mean, no console has launched in the US without a big name launch title.
Well, that's just it. I mean, and they've also announced, obviously, I know that's one of the other stories we have, that it's coming out in November.
Yes,
if you read
Microsoft,
if you read that press release, that's all they're talking about now is the abundance of Microsoft family of games.
Correct.
That will be available at launch. It's like
focusing on Game Pass and also backwards compatibility with multiple generations of Xbox games.
Yeah.
All right. And that's really kind of all they can do. Like, and it's possible, maybe we get some big games on Game Pass. That is a possibility, of course, but then you're really sort of pushing whether Game Pass as a service can sell your new hardware. And that's a big question mark. Now, of course, like a lot of technology products come out without a big launch game or thing like that. And we got mid-generational hardware refreshes without like big launch titles to go along with them, right? But it never has like the start of a generation happened without a launch title to go with it, which be interesting. I wonder, I mean, they could maybe lean on the Master Chief Collection that, Halo is getting sort of a little bit of a resurgence in popularity thanks to the Steam release and just the Master Chief Collection in general. When that originally launched, it did not, it had a lot of bugs and a lot of problems on Xbox One, but eventually they did get it under control. And now that they're doing releases on PC, it seems like they could maybe lean on that a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But to me, like if Series S is a thing, and if that comes out at the same time as the Series X, to me, that's the thing you push on, like the lower price, backwards compatible with everything, and Game Pass. Like to me, that's sort of the thing you try to push people on this holiday. I don't know. It's a hard.
I think they've given themselves a
for the
major
Xbox
uphill
team.
battle here.
Major uphill battle. But again, like delays could happen on the Sony side too. Like,
sure, but
and
yeah,
if
anyway.
it did happen, if those things did happen on the Sony side, I think they're in a lot less of a good position to focus on like PlayStation Now and third-party games. Well, maybe they'll do a lot of that too. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting November. Microsoft issued a press release that said that the Series X will launch in November, so we know that at the very least. We don't know the exact date. However, there was a controller leak last week for the new controller that apparently a label on the box said do not put out for display until November 6th. So it's very possible that November 6th is the date for launch.
Yeah, or yeah, maybe.
Or thereabouts. But
I mean, I think we're going to see it anyway, but I think we're probably going to see a torrent of Microsoft news now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now I feel like, especially with Halo being delayed, they're going to need to build critical mass faster.
Yeah. I think that's true. The delay on Halo Infinite kind of reminded me. You remember the press event for The Last of Us Part 2 that was last fall when they announced the February date?
Sit in that barn or something like that. That was something different.
So. No, that was something different. Where they announced they had the press play like the first 2 hours, and then they announced the February launch date. Remember that? And then like a week later,
what's the parallel you're drawing here?
A week later, they said, "Oh, it's actually come out in May." I feel like Halo Infinite, like they showed us that footage like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and the big launch game, and then now it's like, well,
they probably knew at that time that it's not going to make it.
They probably knew at that time, yeah,
little bait and switch,
that they had a possibility this thing was getting delayed. So,
well, maybe it was on the cusp. Maybe they weren't sure.
Maybe they weren't sure. They weren't sure. Yeah, but
I mean, how long ago was that when they showed that footage?
It's like a week and a half. I don't know. Time is just running together at this point, right?
Who knows what happened between then and now? Even if it was only a week,
it's been 40 years.
No.
Maybe someone dropped a hard drive in a toilet between now and then, and
left one at medieval times.
Somebody was
crazier things, right?
Somebody lost the zip disk when they were moving data from one drive to another.
Hey, it happens. Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
Those big optical drives.
Yeah. So we got some news about Rocksteady's next game. It's apparently a Suicide Squad game, and it's going to be unveiled this week at the DC
better say their prayers
event, as well as WB Montreal's Batman game, also going to be revealed at this DC Fandom event. So,
yeah, really excited to see both of those.
Yeah,
for sure. Batman games have been pretty sweet.
Yes,
and Rocksteady makes good stuff. So,
yep.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Suicide Squad kind of teaser image had Superman on
Superman
there, right?
on it.
Is it super? I saw somebody said that it could be Bizarro.
Oh,
because of the color scheme.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was interesting.
So what would
I don't know anything about those. I just said words that I heard somebody else say. I know nothing.
Who is Bizarro? Who is Bizarro, CJ? Tell me what a Bizarro is.
Get Chris Baker on the horn.
Well, no, it's the opposite Superman, right?
Opposite Superman. Yeah, and I only know that because
the best way to describe him.
Because of Seinfeld.
But is that actually his name, Bizarro?
Yes, his name is Bizarro.
Okay.
He's from
Bizarro
World.
World, but I didn't know if his name was Bizarro.
And, I think technically it might be Bizarro Superman.
I think you're right. You're right. And the only reason I know that is because of Seinfeld.
And C-Lab 2021.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Bizarro!
There's that.
Bizarro!
There is that.
Bizarro loves you. C-Lab 2021.
It's
Pretty good
about
Frank-
to be
that's pretty good.
2021.
That's a pretty good Frank Welker you got going there.
That wasn't that was. I mean, that is Frank Welker certainly does that voice, but that was
Yeah.
not Frank Welker doing.
Okay.
No,
It is about to be 2021.
it is.
About to
So,
yeah.
see, I mean, well, C-Lab 2020 was the actual show, so
That's true.
That's
That's
going on
happening
right
now.
now.
It's
Yeah,
happening right now.
The events of C-Lab 2020 are happening as we speak under the sea.
We have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, it's next year
telling you.
when everyone starts going goofy.
Nah, that's recent
Silly.
history
No.
not proving that correct.
Well, I just mean down in the C-Lab.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Underneath the water.
gonna
Yeah.
say because above the water, we're there.
You better check under the sea.
All right. So Control
Alt
is
delete.
getting a next gen upgrade.
That's a thing.
Apparently the next gen upgrade will only be available to you if you purchase the forthcoming Ultimate Edition
That's lame.
that has the DLC. So if you're a previous purchaser of Control digitally, you don't get an upgrade to the next gen
Oh yeah.
upgrades. Yeah.
Can you purchase a
You can
next gen upgrade for a nominal fee?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh really?
No, you have to buy the Ultimate Edition. So the Ultimate Edition
Ooh.
is the game plus all of the expansions they've done.
See, that seems like something they would want to do though. It's like, okay,
I
yeah,
would've thought.
I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I get it from a we're trying to make as much money as possible point of
Sure.
view.
Sure.
Where if you want the upgrade, buy the big version.
Yeah.
But it seems really weird that they wouldn't like,
They
oh
wouldn't
hey,
be like, okay, here's a $10.
Yeah,
yeah,
Give us some more money and we will give
right.
you don't have to give us the whole $40. You can
yeah,
give us 15 and we'll
yeah.
get that for you. But
But look
apparently not.
look at CJ trying to up their profits like in the span of 2 sentences. They could just give them
thought it was-
$10.
You thought it was
it'd
10.
be like,
Nah, Phil,
hey,
what
give
about
us
15?
$15. I mean, it's just a simple $20 upgrade. I don't understand why everyone's
All you have to
balking at
do is
$25.
Down an additional $29.99. It's fine. Come on. Bat your eye at a little $35.
I mean, a monthly subscription of $20 a month for a 3-year commitment seems perfectly normal. I don't know what you're complaining
yeah.
about.
you guys are like amazing businessmen.
Yeah,
I know, right? Right.
Maybe
Anyway,
here's what you do: you sell loot boxes for $4.99 a pop.
There it is.
yeah.
If you're lucky, one of them will contain the next gen upgrade.
Oh,
Oh,
Otherwise, so
I
you can
like
either
that.
so
You
then
get
it's
to re-roll
then it's
if you don't
technically
get it.
cheaper
yeah,
because
yeah,
it
I
only
mean,
costs you $20.
you might get some cosmetics. Maybe you'll get a cosmetic
So you're
item,
always getting something,
or
is what you're saying.
maybe you'll get the next gen upgrade.
Yeah.
So it's not really gambling because you can't lose.
Right, you're always getting something.
I think you're onto
Always
something.
getting
You
something.
should let the
Please
game industry know about this idea.
Please do not ask about the odds of pulling the next
right.
gen upgrade.
Right.
But
The odds of
it is
winning are
certainly
just about as good as
Well, we
winning
don't-
that
we don't deal in
McDonald's
filthy terms
millions
like
in the late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, the odds of that were 0 because the mob was involved in
It wasn't the it was the well, it was kind of the mob, I guess. It was like
the mob.
the light mob. The Florida mob. Have you not watched that
I
special?
haven't actually watched it now.
Millions is great. It's great.
Yeah. it is.
Kind of the mob.
The mob. It's like Mafia Light.
It was.
Hey,
It
we're,
was
we're kind of the mob over here. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm a quarter Italian on my mother's side.
Diet
oh,
Mafia.
see, now you're just calling
Yeah, I
Italians mobsters. What are you
I
doing?
know.
Come on, man.
Sorry,
Not cool.
Italians.
Not cool. But you should watch McMillions because
I
You
should.
should.
it's fascinating.
Okay, I should.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so Amazon UK has apparently listed Skyward Sword for Switch.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to not play it there too.
So okay,
What?
I'm really curious.
I
I'm really
finished
curious-
Skyward Sword. And it was
I
great.
loved Skyward Sword.
I I bounced off Skyward Sword after a few hours.
I feel like you have a very legitimate reason for not playing through it.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, the motion controls were not great
Right.
in some of the with some of the battles. Some of them were not great, but and of course they had the tad notes thing at the end that dragged.
Oh yeah, that
Game on
dragged the
quite
game
a
down
bit.
little bit.
Really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
game should have ended like
Does
10
the
hours
blue,
before it did.
does the blue lady ever stop talking?
No.
No.
Yeah, see. It was a mixture of her and the motion controls that put me
killed it
off
for
of
you?
it. Yeah.
Mm.
Which is a shame because I loved Groose.
Yeah.
You know,
Said no one ever.
that game could have been all Groose.
You like
All Groose all the
Groose?
time. The Groose is loose, baby.
Groose.
That's what we
It'd be
want.
interesting to see though if they do release that on Switch, if they give you the option to play it without using any kind of motion controls.
I assume they will.
And if that's the case, if people will
Just because the Switch
it
Lite
another shot?
exists. So they wouldn't.
right,
Yeah.
yes, good point.
So-
Good point. So yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that means that people would get. It's a good game, but I totally agree that the motion controls more than anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who hates motion controls, so I was really surprised that I got so into it. But
Yeah.
it's a good Zelda game.
It is a good Zelda game. It's a very good Zelda game.
But you
know
have to
people,
deal with those motion controls.
I know people who love it,
Yeah,
who legitimately
you've
say
got
it's
one person right here.
fantastic.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
know
but I
what
mean
I'm
like people whose
But-
opinions I care about.
Real people,
Yeah.
not just internet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weirdos on my TV screen here.
Right. I they should do Wind Waker for Switch also. I would totally buy that again.
Oh yeah,
Just like
Wind Waker, for sure.
HD came to Wii U and it was great. I'd buy it again on
Absolutely.
Switch.
I would buy
No
Wind
question.
Waker again.
I'll buy Skyward Sword if this rumor turns out to be true. I'll buy it.
I'm less inclined to get excited about another Wind Waker as I would be to get like an updated Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like take the update they
allegedly
did on
that's
the
happening, but
DS, but bring it up to Switch level.
You know what I would love
Yeah.
to see?
what's that?
Pardon me.
World Peace.
Oh man. Look, we can't even get mailboxes here. We're not going to get world peace.
Yeah, just
But
lower your expectations, Greg. Come on.
Dial it down a little. Just
Dial
a
it
little.
down.
I
About 20%.
would like to see a Link's Awakening style redo
Yeah.
of Link to the
Mole-mania.
Past. Oh, well.
Even the original Zelda.
Well,
would be
hold
nice
on
to
a
have
second here. Now that we're bringing Mole Mania into it. Good
Mania comes
goodness.
first.
Yes. Let's bring back Mole Mania. First of all, when is he? What was the mole's name in Mole Mania?
I have no idea.
I know. I'm sure it was
Mo?
probably something more than mole.
Mo?
Mario.
Mario. That's what it was.
That's awful.
It's not Monty Mole because
You're
that's
a
like an
bad
old
person.
No.
Specky game, I believe.
No.
Yes, I believe
But-
it is.
Yeah. But why isn't Mole Mania Mole in Smash Brothers?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I want to know.
Because the only two people that care are on this podcast.
That's probably true.
Possibly.
I would like to see a
Uh.
Link's Awakening style redo of Link to the Past.
Yeah.
And Link Between Worlds on one Switch card.
I would buy the hell out of that. Yes.
Absolutely, you would.
Yes.
Absolutely, you would, because
would
both
like
of those
that.
games are amazing.
You know what's still surprising is that Nintendo never patched the frame rate issues that Link's Awakening
Is
on
it that
Switch had.
surprising?
I don't know, but it was such a common thing that
Hmm.
so many people commented on it. I'm just surprised they never addressed it in any way. Well.
What I really like more than any of that would be a brand new F-Zero.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or even a Mario Kart 9 would be nice.
What would you
be
expect? Let me ask you, what would you expect out of a new F-Zero? What would you want to see? Like what about it excites you? Just that there would
Just
be
F-Zero.
another game.
Just another
Yeah.
racing.
Well, I
another
mean, it's
futuristic
been
racing.
since the GameCube, since the last.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
I
was
forget
last
which
one.
ones came out.
Oh
more
yeah.
recently. But either way, it's been like 15 years.
Yeah.
It has been a long time.
So you just
Or
want a
even
new
more.
one.
I just like a new one.
Who would you
Like, you know-
want to make it? Because the
What
GameCube one
team?
was Sega, right?
Yeah.
GameCube one was Sega, and it was really well done. I don't know that team probably exists. at
That
this
one
point.
That one was it was
Well,
great,
it's the,
but
it's
it was
super hard.
it was way
made
too
it.
hard.
Yeah.
Nagoshi made it, who did
Oh, really?
Monkey Ball, and then now he's Mr. Yakuza.
Right.
So,
So I mean, I don't really care who makes it as much as I care that it's good.
Right.
The GameCube one, I'll be honest, I didn't play much of it because it was so difficult.
It was really, really damn
for
tough.
me. Yeah. I mean, I know there are people who are really good at it. But I mean, man, F-Zero X.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Oh, yeah.
Give me more.
Yeah. The N64 one.
And it feels
Oh,
like
yeah.
when they make reference to F-Zero at this point, like the F-Zero stuff that showed up in Mario Kart 8
Mm-hmm.
was, I think, all based on F-Zero X.
really?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't think that the stuff with the music and everything that was in there and the tracks that were there were from GX or AX. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But I would love to see a new F-Zero in general. I'd also would love to see another Mario Kart. I know Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't that old, but Mario Kart 8's been around for quite
It's
a while.
like Mario Kart 8 has been around for like 7 years at this point, right?
Isn't that long?
I had
It's
like
been a
6 or
while.
7 years.
Since,
it's been a while.
since the
It's been
Wii
long
U
enough.
original.
Yeah, the
It's
Wii
been
U.
long enough.
Yeah.
And you know, like with the DLC, the route they were going, which was starting to feel more like a catch-all for Nintendo properties,
Yeah.
it turned into racing games.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I would love to see more of that. I would love to see them go that route.
Yes.
I mean, still call
Yes.
it Mario Kart because it's, you know, Mario's the mascot, but
Make it Smash Kart.
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
That
no,
was
call
where they
it
were going.
Call it Mario Kart, whatever, and have like
Super Mario
Nintendo
Kart and
All
All-Stars
Stars
Racing.
Mario,
exactly.
Mario Kart Smash.
Yeah, because I mean that's the, you know, they were going the same route that Nintendo went with Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, right? Which was fantastic too. Not as good as Mario Kart, but still a lot of fun, and especially if you were a fan, because there were just all these nods to all these different Sega properties.
Didn't
Do that.
didn't one of the Sonic games have like Wreck-It Ralph in it? And
Yeah, that
like,
was All Stars Transformed.
and like an actual like real life race car driver.
Yeah, that
like-
was what
like
was her
some
name?
yeah. Like she was
Danica
like
Patrick.
she was like a
Danica
young
Patrick.
kid, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? That
No,
she was
wasn't a young kid.
Oh no?
Nope.
No, okay.
It was a car based on her Indy car, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
She was a real. She doesn't race anymore, but she was.
Right.
I think she's the only female who's ever won an IndyCar race.
Oh, is that right?
I think I'm not 100% sure. She's the most recent, at least, but I think she's the only one that's ever.
Okay.
And then she raced in NASCAR for years, but she's retired.
Oh,
now.
really? Okay.
So,
Wow. Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
agree.
those
More
two
Mario
characters
Kart.
were there. But either way, more Mario Kart would be nice.
Or Mario Kart, please.
Yeah, you know what?
Skyward Sword,
Since we just seem to
I'll
be
buy it.
like randomly talking about
We are. Yeah.
Nintendo crap we want to see show up on Switch. You know what I would love to see on Switch?
What?
I would love to see them port Kid Icarus Uprising.
Me too,
to
because
Switch.
that's the only way I'll ever play that.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great game, and it's fun and it's funny. Like
I figured that will happen at some point,
Yeah,
right?
but-
I figure that's gotta happen.
it's tough to play because it's got such a bonkers control scheme on the 3DS
Yeah.
that it's kind of
You know-
uncomfortable to play.
Here's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I liked Nintendo Land, first of all.
Okay.
I know a lot of people didn't. But I think some of the mini games in there, you could bring those back as like Tetris 99 style sort of mini downloads. Like you could bring back Mario Chase and have that be either a local multiplayer or
Yeah, okay.
online thing on Switch, and it'd be really fun.
That would be cool. Yeah, some of those mini games were pretty pretty fun.
They were
Yeah,
indeed.
I'm with you on that.
I want some of that stuff back, but people soured so hard on Nintendo Land.
Yeah. I didn't play a whole lot of Nintendo Land.
No, it's
But
a
I-
fun little
me neither.
diversion.
I
It's a fun
didn't
diversion.
really get in. I couldn't really get into it, but you're right though. Some of those mini games were pretty fun in there.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be bothered to play the whole game just to experience those few mini games that I enjoyed.
Yes.
But yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't think we can finish up the news without talking about free Fortnite.
No,
Hashtag
right,
free Fortnite,
right,
which was the, of course, the
Hashtag
spat
free Fortnite.
between
Yes.
Epic Games, who was mobilizing their fan base against Apple and
Right.
Google. I mean, to start it off, Epic
Mhm.
decided to put in their own payment thing for V-Bucks in the iOS version of Fortnite, which
So-
kind of kicked it off.
So I've played Fortnite less than 5 times in my life. I've certainly
Right.
never played it on a mobile device.
Sure.
So presumably beforehand you had to purchase V-Bucks, which is the Fortnite virtual currency. You had to, like, it was just like a deal, like an in-app purchase through the Apple Store, I guess.
Yes,
Is
just
that what
like
it was?
any sort of digital storefront, right?
Yeah, like any other
like
iOS
PSN
game.
or like Xbox Live
Right,
or
right.
like the eShop or whatever. Yeah, basically
So they
the same. Yeah,
tweaked their games.
put in their own web store within the
Okay.
iOS version where you could click on Epic's version and get a discount on the V-Bucks.
Oh, so you could still, so it was like, oh, you can still buy them through the Apple
Yes,
App Store
that's
for
right.
full price, or you could buy them through Epic's,
Epic's, not
Epic's,
Epic's, the
Not
makers of
Epic's.
Summer Games.
not the Summer Games people,
Right.
not that company who I loved so much on my Commodore 64,
That's right.
but Epic's.
Epic Games. Yeah.
Yes, Epic Games.
Yeah.
So basically the game could access
Either
2
storefront, yeah.
in-game stores. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One
Yeah,
was
that's right. Of course,
Apple's.
that violates App Store rules. Like every
Right.
every app that offers sort of in-game purchases or purchases that you can use on the device, they
Right.
you have to give Apple a 30% cut.
So Epic Games
Epic
knowingly
put in
violated their contract with Apple.
That's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
and they got the app pulled from the App Store
Right.
several hours later, or like an hour later.
Which of course they knew would happen because
Of course, they had to know it would happen. It was
Well,
going to
they
be almost
did know.
instantaneous.
because as soon as it got pulled, they had a fully animated video
Yes,
that they were able to post of like Fortnite characters. It's like
Well,
a parody of like the old
fact,
1984 Apple ad.
yeah, they made a
right?
parody video of the 1984 Apple ad that they
Right.
debuted, I think, at like 4 p.m. Eastern
Okay.
in the game.
Oh, it was in the game. It was ready to go.
in-game event initially to basically, mobilize their fan base against.
And like you were
Against
saying
Apple.
before the show, I didn't know about this, but they have a they have a whole website up
Well,
already.
on their website, they have a statement about it's called Free Fortnite.
Okay.
And the video that they did was 1980 Fortnite.
I get it.
You get it?
I get it. Yeah.
But basically, I'm trying to mobilize their fan base against Apple, but then Epic also filed a lawsuit against Apple immediately.
Okay.
And then Google also pulled Fortnite out of the Google Play Store
Right.
at the same
So
time.
Epic-
And Epic also is suing them.
So Epic
Google as well.
did something that they knew violated their contract,
Yes.
and they obviously knew that they were going to have the retaliation of having their game pulled because they had all this promotional material ready to go
yes,
saying, "Hey, gamers,
can you believe
rise
this
up."
injustice?
Yeah. Can you believe that
when
when we knowingly violated our contract, we had the retribution that is expected for our contract violation?
It was funny though, like on Twitter,
And now
The
we want our fans to
summary-
be angry for
the
us.
summary of how this went down is pretty funny. There was a Twitter like trending topic about this,
Uh-huh.
and the headline was Apple removes Fortnite from App Store after Epic Games lowers cost of V-Bucks,
Yeah.
which is a true headline. That is correct. In the sequence of events, Apple did remove Fortnite after Epic Games decided to put a discount on V-Bucks. But there's like a lot more nuance in there.
Yeah.
That the V-Buck discount was only if you purchased through Epic directly,
Ah,
circumventing Apple's
Okay.
thing, and they really got pulled for violating the guidelines. But it's a really sort of nuanced story. And as I think we were talking about before the show, Epic's a big company, right?
Of course
and
they are. Yeah,
they're
they're a giant company.
mobilizing. They're mobilizing their fan base, which is largely young people,
Right.
against an injustice which is really like a blanket 30% rev share.
Right.
All the apps in the App Store have to abide by this rule to be sold there. It's just a very strange, strange thing that obviously Epic is doing this not for the good of its users, but for their own.
Well,
they want that 30%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they want more money, and they are riling up
their fan base to
a bunch of
even
kids
by saying the next season of Fortnite, which debuts soon. Sorry, iOS users, you won't be able to update to that because we've been pulled. Like using that as a carrot,
right,
to get what you want. It feels
kind of sleazy.
It feels sleazy.
Yeah,
it feels very sleazy.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But
I'm not too heartbroken that I have not gotten into Fortnite.
Me neither, but it's a fine game. But I wouldn't be playing it on iOS anyway. But a lot of kids do because they have their iPads or
right. So. Yeah, get their parents' phones or whatever. Yeah,
I would encourage people to listen to the Games Beat Decides podcast this week. The guys there, Jeff Grubb and Tolkodo, I can't remember his name on the spot, had a good chat about the whole thing. So a much better discussion than we've just had. Listen to a better podcast than this one.
Shut up. Jeez.
All right.
I
think now we're ready to go into what you've been playing.
Oh, are we what you've been playing already?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I'll kick us off.
Okay.
Because Risk of Rain 2, which I've been playing over the last few months, has just gotten out of early access. It is now a 1.0 version.
Yeah.
And they added a bunch of new power-ups to collect. It's a roguelike. It's a roguelite game.
Yeah.
And so they added a bunch of new power-ups and like a new final stage to the game. So there's like a complete end boss telling the end of the story of the game, which there didn't have to be that, but they added it.
Yeah.
So I played that with Mike and who I normally play multiplayer games with, Sea of Thieves, etc. And we finished the game, like our first time through the final boss stage. And it was pretty fun, pretty interesting thing. And it unlocked a new character who's a pirate captain, which of course I had to get that character for Risk of Rain 2. Right. But so it's out of early access now. It's available on all platforms, but only the PC, only the Steam version has the 1.0 updates so far. But I really like Risk of Rain 2. It's a fun roguelite and a fun multiplayer game. It really reminds me of Phantasy Star Online. I think I've said that on the show before. Just the loot gathering and enemy shooting aspects of it are really fun. Really fun. It gets pretty crazy too. It's difficult. Lots of enemies on the screen. Also been playing a little bit of Undermine. So we talked about this on the show last week.
Yeah.
I believe it was suggested that you, Phil, should try Undermine.
Yeah. And of course I downloaded it and haven't played it yet.
Of course. I downloaded it and I did play it.
Well, there you go.
A little bit. And I think you'll like it. It sort of touches on the same notes
you don't know me.
As your Rogue Legacy.
How dare you, sir?
But it's top-down dungeon battling game. Really reminds me of Sparklight as well. Like Sparklight and Undermine are two very similar feeling games. So I enjoy both of those games. So
yeah, I need to sit down and actually play it. So I'm halfway there though. I downloaded it.
That's half the battle, really.
That's got to count for something.
It doesn't count for anything, really. But
man,
no. But it's a fun little game on Game Pass on both PC and Xbox. So,
good.
Yes. And to round things out, I played Fall Guys.
Hey, I played that.
The hot new video game for Mediatonic.
I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Started up my PS Plus subscription again.
Just for Fall Guys.
Just to get Fall Guys so we could play it.
Why were you playing Fall Guys, Phil?
Huh?
Why were you playing Fall Guys?
Because I love games as a service.
That was honestly a chance for you to, advertise what we're going to be doing this week, but okay. You had to make the service joke instead.
I did.
How many loot boxes did you buy, Phil?
0. I don't think that game has loot boxes, does it?
No, but you did make a purchase.
I did purchase a costume pack. There is I think it was $5, and you can buy it's like a fast food costume pack. Because I wanted my dude to look like a Slurpee.
Yeah.
So
now you're a Slurpee.
I bought a Slurpee.
Yeah.
Finn, are you knocking on the door? What's up, dude? Pardon me a minute. No, not yet,
Sure.
buddy. I will check, kiddo. I'm recording right now. Thank
Daddy's
you,
busy.
Finn's asking some questions here.
Yeah.
But no, we
as a podcast,
by which I mean the three of us.
Yeah.
Phil Theobald, Christopher C.J. Johnston, and Gregory Stewart. We're all Stewart. His name is Stewart. There's no.
Thank you.
Well, there is a
no
T.
T.
There is a T.
There's a
it's at
T,
the
but
end.
not
It's at the end.
only one.
We were contacted by our
I
good
like how
friend.
there's no T in your last name, but there is a T in my last name.
Yeah,
and
you guys.
I get people who leave the T out of my name, and
Yeah.
you get people who put the T in your name.
So your parents must have been filling out the birth certificates at the same time, and then someone dropped the T. We were contacted by our good friend Paul Mattingly.
Yes.
From the Ice Cream Social, Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social podcast. You will, of course, know them from Scoop Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Avid listeners of our show.
Isn't happening this year.
Unfortunately, no Scoop Fest this year, so no trip to Vegas for us. But yeah, we've obviously done their Scoop Fest podcasting and comedy festival for the past couple of years.
It's really too bad because I was really looking forward to making Phil eat in the dark again this year.
Yeah.
I decided that this was the year is going to happen.
Jeez,
Yes.
Louise.
Such a good time.
That was maybe the funniest.
Oh my god!
I'll tell you what,
my favorite experience.
I'll tell you what, it made
so funny.
It made for a fantastic story, and it was funny.
Yes.
But the anxiety and the trauma.
I mean, I think what we proved is you don't take a 5-year-old to eat in the dark.
There's no joke. My anxiety levels were through the roof that whole time, like legit trauma.
I loved it.
I mean, I can laugh about it.
I mean, even outside of the funny conversation and happenings.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was
I enjoyed it too.
Very interesting experience.
Oh,
it was great.
I
would do it again. I would do it again.
But I eat adult food too, so
yeah, that's your problem.
Your diet doesn't consist of aerosol cheese,
diet of Twinkies and aerosol cheese.
I'll have you know.
Coke Zero.
I'll have you know. I don't know. I don't know when the last time I had a Twinkie was. Isn't that weird?
Huh.
That is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you know what I'm having for dinner tonight?
What?
Aerosol cheese?
Salad. Thank you very much. I'm having a salad.
Huh?
It's
got aerosol cheese in it.
Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles salad.
It's gonna be. We're having a nice chicken Caesar. Having a chicken Caesar salad for dinner tonight. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I don't eat solely crap.
It's pretty
but
close.
I certainly.
I mean more about it. Your the range of what you eat.
Oh yeah, it's very
narrow.
limited. It's very narrow.
That's more what I was getting at.
Yes, it's very narrow.
If this salad has, I don't know.
Let's go to PF Chang's.
No,
a little bit of radish in it or something like that. Phil's freaked out.
I could handle a radish.
Really? Okay.
I would probably go. I don't.
What about like beet?
Beets. I'm not big on beets. Actually, you know what I'm not into is beans.
Of any kind?
No, not really. I'm not a big bean fan.
Beans, the musical fruit.
I mean, as amused as I am by farts, I am not into beans.
I was gonna say
no. I get my farts elsewhere. I find my farts in different ways. You know. But what were we talking about?
Don't
what we're
know.
doing this Thursday night.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
You idiots.
So Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social. Paul Mattingly, our good friend, got in touch with us, and he had this idea of doing streaming some video games.
Some multiplayer games specifically.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why he's contacting us.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, you three, would one of you be interested in playing Last of Us on a stream? Why would you do that? Maybe the rest of us can sit around and
watch
and riff on it. Yeah.
Riff tracks. It's Last of Us 2 riff tracks.
Yeah. That laugh a minute chuckle fest that
Thrill
is Last
ride.
of Us Part 2.
Says Jeff Kanata.
No, he wants to do some streaming of some multiplayer games. And we thought that was a swell idea, so we're going to be doing that. And one of the games that we figured was Fall Guys, since that's the new hotness, out there at the moment. So I am shaking because I know nothing about streaming.
So we're going to be streaming at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to our Twitter account.
This Thursday night.
That update
in case that changes.
Updated. Yeah.
And it'll be on my channel.
It's going to be on your Twitch channel,
as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Twitch TV/Seward.
But yeah, it'll be
on
S3.
Yeah.
It'll be S3. It'll be Paul.
Yeah.
Who is a super nice guy, extremely funny, professional funny man.
True.
So, is it going to be on like are they going to put it on end up putting it on like the Hey Scoops channel or something like that?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, Paul was saying that he'd like to do that.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I don't know that it won't be live on their channel.
Right, but it'll be posted there at some point.
Yeah, the archive of it.
That is of course the Hey Scoops is the Ice Cream Social Twitch channel. So but yeah.
So we played some Fall Guys.
We played some Fall Guys. It was
sort of a test.
Yeah, test
to
run.
See how this will work.
What we learned
was
that we all failed the test. We suck at Fall Guys.
We absolutely
do.
do.
It is a good time.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
There was a lot of yelling into the microphones.
There was a lot of yelling into the mics.
A little bit of cursing.
Yeah. But it was a fun time. None of us, of course, actually won.
No.
But I think
close.
Did two of us get down to the final round? Or I got down to one of the final games.
I think you and I got to the final round because it was the like hexagon one.
Yeah,
like that big honeycomb
one.
One where you're dropping
and CJ
down the
was
levels.
really killing it there at one point.
For a little while.
Yeah, I was one of.
much.
I ended up being one of the. I think maybe I was like the third person eliminated from that final round. But yeah, I don't know how
I stayed
close
up for a little
came,
while,
but you were there for a while. Yeah. But yeah, you and I were the ones who made it the farthest. But of course, neither of us actually won.
Right, but it had a lot of fun playing Fall Guys.
Yeah.
It's a good time, even if you don't win. It's a good time. A lot of crazy things happen.
Let's actually talk about it now. That's because this is.
Yeah.
Let us not forget. What have you been playing?
What have you been playing? Yes,
and we would be playing the Fall Guys.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
all of this is true.
Some of the mini games involve a race. And sometimes that's through some whirly gigs that spin around. You have to jump over or time your jumps to jump through correctly.
Yeah.
Or there's one where a bunch of fruit falls on the ramp and you have to kind of dodge around it.
I don't think I saw the fruit one.
We didn't do the fruit
we didn't
one.
see that one.
I haven't played
because that one the other night, but I've done that one.
Okay, yeah,
times.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay. There's one where you have to jump through hoops and claim them for your team.
Yeah, that's one of the because there are races.
Levels, yeah.
There are team games.
Yes.
And then there are more kind of tests of skill kind of things, like the hexagon one or the memory game.
The one where you have to memorize which fruit is on the panels that are gonna disappear in a second once they show you which fruit will be the solid platform.
Everyone quick jump on the cherry platform because all non-cherries are gonna fall.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a fun it's a fun game.
It's a fun time, even if you're losing. I think I got second
Okay.
in one of the races. Like me and Greg were like top
Yeah, I think I
three.
came third.
Right.
You were second. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which was fun.
I normally don't like because that game is definitely in the vein of like Gang Beasts.
Yes.
And things like that. But I normally don't like those games, so I was having a really good time. Of course, it didn't hurt that I was chatting with you guys and Paul, but
Right.
Well, that's part. Yeah, that's certainly part of the fun.
That's the fun. And we the four of us, CJ, you had, because we were all playing on PS4.
Yeah.
Because this game does not have cross-platform play, correct?
Not yet. Apparently,
Okay.
it is planned for the
Because it's also on Steam. Is it on Xbox
No.
One as well? Oh, is
No,
it just
PS4 and PC right now?
Okay. But you had started a party chat that the four of us were in.
How long has the PS4 been out? And this is the first time that many of us were doing the party chat.
I know, right?
On PS4, it tells you how much we play.
Yeah, I mean, I
games.
never play multiplayer stuff, so
right.
Yeah.
But it seemed like when we were on like team matches, when we would go into a level that was a team match, we were all on the same team, right?
Yes. Yeah. He kept us the same color.
Yeah. So does the game kind of recognize people who are in a party chat and throw them all on the same
chat,
team?
but we were in one party in the game as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I invited you to the game.
That's right.
My lobby. Yeah.
That's right.
So
Okay, so
Yes,
as long as you're
it
all in the same
recognized that.
lobby, it'll keep you all on the same team. Okay, that makes sense.
yes.
Again, proving how little I play multiplayer games. I don't know how they work.
Correct.
But yeah, it's a fun
It's a fun
game.
little game. Free
It
on
was a good
PS Plus,
time.
and it's only $20 if you don't
Yeah.
have PS Plus.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, what was it? The
we watched one guy go all the way to the end, and the guy who won the hexagon jump
Yes.
was really good. Like
He had a
the
technique
timed jump. He had a real technique down.
down. Yeah.
That
Like
was
he would
fun to
jump up.
watch.
So for
Feel
those
like
who
a
haven't
little-
played it, this particular round, you were on you're on a platform that is comprised of a bunch of hexagons that are all kind of connected like a honeycomb.
Mhm.
And this is like the final round. So there's maybe like a dozen people playing. at that point.
Yeah.
And when you step on one of the little hexagons, there's like a second or two pause and it will disappear.
Disappears.
And if you don't jump to another hexagon, you will fall down to the layer below, which is another floor full of hexagons. And there's maybe half a dozen of those levels.
Right.
I don't know exactly how
Yeah.
many. But the goal, of course, is to stay up high for as long as you possibly can, because once you fall through the lower platform, you fall into a pool of slime and you're out.
Yeah.
And so the strategy, of course, is to just kind of run around the outer perimeter of the thing.
This person was jumping,
Yeah.
like doing a little dash and stopping in midair and landing on the next hexagon. So he was doing like a little.
Yeah, he was kind of like stopping
Hop.
himself in midair and trying to like maintain the amount of time where he's not standing on a platform.
And it's sort of amazing to watch. I imagine like a lot of the games have, tips like that.
Yeah,
Where it's like if you want to do well in this one,
exactly.
this is what the sort of meta
Yeah,
you need to follow. But
yeah, it's a fun little game.
it's a fun little game. I unlocked a cactus costume, which I quickly
very
changed
nice.
into as we were playing. That was a lot of fun. But yeah,
The and certainly this is by design, but the controls in the game feel very sluggish, and the
Yes.
jumps feel very floaty.
Which is usually one of the
And-
reasons why I hate these kinds of games.
Yeah, and as because I played it for a little while before I played with you guys as well, just to kind of learn how to play the game.
Mhm.
And there were so many instances as I was playing where I was like, man, this would be so much more satisfying if the control was
But I think that's part of the fun.
Good.
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
part of the
It's
point
part
of
the
it.
fun.
and yeah, I mean, and I get that's part of the
like dressing up in the inflatable sumo suits.
CJ's not going to let this go.
I know.
to fight.
Yeah. I mean, I
Right?
get it. I get that's what they're going for is
I
to
mean,
have
Phil,
it feel like that, but
You could sumo wrestle just without the
Uh-huh.
inflatable sumo suit, but it wouldn't be as
Right.
fun. You know,
are you calling me fat?
I'm pretty sure
mean-
that's exactly what happened there.
I mean, here I am not really arguing the point, but still
Still
rude.
mean.
But yeah, I mean, part of me was just like, boy, if this was, imagine if this had really precise controls, how much more satisfying like jumping and dashing through stuff would be. But
right.
but I guess having the kind of wading through
Yeah,
like a wet sponge is I guess that's the point.
that's the fun of it. Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
but I don't know. But again, that's just me complaining to complain. I was having a blast playing it just by myself against a bunch of random people, and then certainly
Well,
playing with
apparently
you
it's
guys
done
and
very
Paul.
well. It's sold 2 million copies on Steam,
Oh wow,
so that's pretty good.
that's not bad.
A lot of copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
of course,
almost 2 million more than anything I've ever worked on.
of course, PS Plus having that exposure is also great for them. So
Yeah.
Congrats to that team. It sounds like they've sort of they've blown past what their best case scenario was for the sales of this
Oh,
thing.
good.
So that's fantastic. Hopefully
Good,
it'll
good.
be well supported in the future. So anyway, that's what I've been
Huh.
playing. So Greg, you are up next.
Oh my God, we're still on what you've been playing.
I know, right?
Well, yeah, I played some Fall Guys with you guys. I finished Halo, the original Halo this week
The OG.
on the old Xbox. I even played using the Duke for quite a
Really?
bit of the game. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But mostly played it for nostalgia's sake. I really love that game, but going back and playing it again, it's definitely feeling its age at this point. It's showing its age. I'd forgotten how much padding there is in the single player game there, where you're going through those levels that are all filled with hallways that are all the exact same thing into rooms that are the exact same room over and over again, and then they make you backtrack through all of it too.
Sure.
But still a good time. Also played some Scott Pilgrim to celebrate the 10th anniversary.
nice.
I streamed that on Thursday night. That was a good game. And so, of course, there's been rumor now because Ubisoft actually reached out to the creator of Scott Pilgrim. He tweeted on actually the 10th anniversary on Thursday. So he didn't say anything else, I don't think, unless there was a follow-up that I didn't know about. But he hasn't said anything else about it. But it would be really nice to get that out there.
Yeah.
Of course, that game not available and not backwards compatible on any of the new systems, unfortunately, or the latest systems. So if you don't have the version you downloaded on your PS3 or Xbox 360, you don't have the game, and you can't get the game. So which is a pity, because it's a very fun pseudo 16-bit graphics. Probably better than that, but
Classic 8-bit style.
yeah, I was going to say that just because I knew it would get you going. But actually, when I was streaming it, I think I said that.
Yeah.
I think Phil would call this classic 8-bit style.
Absolutely. It looks just like my old Nintendo games.
But basically River City Ransom.
Yeah.
I would say it's not a straight belt scrolling beat 'em up that's linear from A to Z.
Gameplay wise, it is pretty much exactly
right.
River City Ransom,
but with a
the
level
shops.
of earned level ups that are persistent throughout your play sessions. So if you start a new game, but you've leveled up one of the characters, because I think you can play as 4 characters without the DLC,
right?
Which is Scott. Oh my God,
Steven Stills, I believe.
Yeah.
Knives, right?
No, Knives is DLC.
Oh, Knives is Knives and Wallace are DLC.
Yes.
Ramona, of course.
Ramona.
And then Kim Pine.
Kim, yeah,
the drummer.
Ramona and Kim. So, but as you play with them, you actually level up and you earn new moves, which are persistent throughout each play sessions, which is nice, because the game can be pretty tough when you start.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very challenging at first.
Yeah, but so good.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's
so
beautiful.
Hopefully, when something comes out of Ubisoft reaching out, it'll be great. Even if it's just to re-release this game on PS4 and Xbox One, and hopefully further on to PS5, Switch, and Series X.
Yeah,
man, even if it's just that.
I would love to. Well, I'd love to have it on PC. Just
sure
to have it in like in my Steam library, but I would, to have that on Switch would be fantastic too.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. With online play, like maybe an ultimate version so that you have all the DLC.
Yeah.
Was there online play in the original?
Yes, I think that was part of the DLC.
I think it might have been a DLC edition
because I don't think game.
I'm pretty sure I don't think it launched with online play.
Don't think it did. I think it was DLC that you had to buy DLC to get online play. I think I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I forget. It's certainly. I mean, it's been a decade. So,
right.
Yeah.
But
but I had a really good time with it because I'll be honest, back when it came out, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on that game. So it was fun to play it for a couple hours the other night and really get into it. I got as far as I beat 3 Evil X's.
Okay. I actually finished that game with all 4 of the main characters.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't think I ever finished it with either of the DLC characters, but
I never got them. I don't have.
Oh, really?
DLC. No, I don't have Knives or Wallace, which sucks.
You can't get them.
But it was a good time too because, of course, my stream audience is pretty consistent at this point, and everyone was just sort of loving, quoting Scott Pilgrim lines and
right,
and sort of reminiscing about the movie based on the different scenes we were in. Although the game has a lot more to do with the books.
Yes,
a lot more scenes, a lot more characters, a lot more situations that weren't in the movie.
Yeah.
Like with Clash of Demon had the drummer and the bass player, and there's a whole subplot there that does not exist in the movie.
Yeah, because it's the drummer is the girl, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. She's like a goth chick drummer. Yeah. Well, all the drummers in the Scott Pilgrim universe are women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. Oh wait, because it is the drummer's the little kid in Clash at Demon Head, right?
No, that's Crash and the Boys.
Oh, that's right. That's Crash and the Boys has the little kid drummer. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Clash at Demon Head drummer is the girl who is
Crash and the Boys, not Clash and the Boys. Sorry.
Crash and the Boys.
Yeah.
Clash at Demon Head.
Yeah,
because the Clash at Demon Head drummer is cheating in the comics. She was cheating with Brandon Routh's character.
Yeah,
the Evil X.
Yeah.
So, man, that movie, man.
That movie's great.
I dig that movie. I really dig
so
that movie.
Well done.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We're sitting there reminiscing about it, and I mean, and I've watched it a couple times because I actually introduced it to my kids this year.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
That movie's got Captain America. It's got Superman. It's got Captain Marvel in it.
They could not make that movie again on the same budget because they would never be able to get
I know
for the price they got them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. It's perfectly cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
I was thinking as I was watching it recently and then my kids love it. So my son actually was home on one of the weeks that they were over at their mother's place. He asked to come back over here and just hang out with me for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to watch a movie. He wanted to watch Scott Pilgrim. So we sat and we watched it. And I was sitting there thinking, because we've talked about this before, where it's like video game based movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, because we talked about Mario Brothers, I think last week or the week before.
Yep.
And how they're generally pretty crappy. But there are some good ones. Some of them are so bad they're good, that sort of thing. But really, I think you can put Scott Pilgrim in there as a video game movie just because it's got that, it's not based on a game.
Right.
But it's clearly the culture.
Inspired by
the
culture. It's like a Wreck-It Ralph kind of thing where it's it's a movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of seeped in video game roots.
Yeah.
It's about video games, even though it's not based on a specific video game.
And they just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And again, cast perfectly.
Yep.
So yeah. highly recommend if you haven't seen that movie. My God, I don't know how you haven't seen that movie, but go watch it.
I still think, and I know Edgar Wright,
Mm-hmm.
who directed the movie, I know he was specifically because I mean I would hope anyone listening knows who Edgar Wright is. British filmmaker did
Hot Fuzz, and
Shaun of the Dead,
Shaun
Hot
of the Dead.
Fuzz,
Yeah.
the old TV show Spaced, which
Yep.
if you have not watched Spaced is so good. I know he was and he did Scott Pilgrim as well. I know he was deliberately trying to avoid casting British actors in this because this was his kind of first like American kind of Hollywood movie. So he was trying to stay away from having some of his regular casts that he uses in his movies because they're all friends of his and stuff. But I was really bummed out that the vegan police was not Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
That would have been pretty funny.
I mean,
and also there is a major actor in that film who is British,
right?
But the director didn't know about it.
Oh, Patel, the first Evil
Guy who
X.
plays Matthew Patel.
Yeah,
is actually British,
right?
But he didn't. He of course had an American accent,
right?
Yeah,
and
he got the part, and so apparently the director didn't know he was British until after the fact.
Right, but he was really good.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, it's obviously it's not a big role. He's just in for a scene basically, but he's really funny in that scene.
He's worth less than bus fare apparently. So,
oh man, and I mean this is quickly just turning into a Scott Pilgrim podcast, but
really is.
you know who's damn good in that movie is Kieran Culkin.
Oh, steals every scene.
Huh? Yeah,
Steals every scene
as Wallace.
Yeah,
as Wallace, Scott's roommate.
That gossipy bitch.
He is so funny in that movie. Holy crap! But well, I'm glad you got more into the game because it is one of my favorites from. I was about to say recent years, but I guess that's not really the case anymore. Recent decade.
That game's pretty easily classified as retro at this point.
Yeah,
not just retro inspired.
Well, I mean, look at those graphics.
Retro.
Looks like an old Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, going to point this out before we move on about that game. That soundtrack,
so good.
Oh my god,
Oh
that's
my God.
Anamanaguchi, Masters of Chip Tunes, doing the soundtrack. Such a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good. So.
Oh, it's just. I mean, the game's
Agreed.
just like the movie. There's nothing to not like about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah. So that's something that I played this week. Played some more Paper Mario, Origami King. I didn't get as much played this week as I would have liked.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you are now.
I haven't had much of a chance to play. I went into the city, the kind of Vegas-y looking city.
Okay. So you haven't finished that area yet?
No, I haven't finished it. I did. Oh man, I fought the giant against spoilers, I guess. I fought the giant paper mache pokey in the desert.
Yeah.
But there's like a big like tornado.
Yes.
That happens in the desert.
Yeah.
And you're inside you're in like the eye of the tornado fighting the giant pokey. So I fought him, and I did a couple little kind of quest stuff. Like I was going through the hotel in the city. I found Professor Toad. I found Professor Toad who can read like the hieroglyphs. And so I'm I got to get into the towers and stuff like that. It was one of those situations where Finn came over and he was like, "Oh, do you want to play Paper Mario? I'll watch you play." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm playing. He's watching me play, and again he's farther in the game than I am, and he's doing that thing where he's like really fighting to like not spoil things for me, because he's like, "Oh, well,"
just vibrating, I'm sure.
Like I get into a new area and he's like, "Oh, do you want to know what to do in this area?" I'm like, let me explore a little bit. And he's like, "Okay,
the exact same way.
Okay, but if you need help, I'll help you." Okay, Finn, that's cool. And then he's like I'll walk like a few steps. He's like, oh, maybe behind that building. I wonder if there's anything behind that building. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude. Just I'm not giving you a hint. I'm just saying it looks like maybe there's a path hidden behind there.
If it was me.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, dude. And then I play for a little bit, and then of course he's just getting so kind of hyped up watching the game. It turns into, are you getting bored of playing? Because maybe I could play for a while. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll save my game and you can play if you really want to. So, but boy, he's how far are you right now, Greg?
I'm in the ocean.
You're in the ocean,
which is the next area after the area you're in.
Okay, I believe. I think Finn is ahead of you. Because
like I said, I haven't touched it this week.
Yeah, he's at some place that has like diamond in the name, and I don't know where that is.
I'm on a diamond island.
Okay, well maybe you guys heard about the same place. Yeah. He was. I mean, do you mind a risk of a spoiler?
Sure, I don't.
It's not much of a.
Yeah.
He's at some part. Spoiler, everybody. He's at some part where, and all I saw was like there's a couple little kind of temple buildings.
He's literally in the same place I'm at.
And you have to use like the elemental thing.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are in the same spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so I'm still working my way through that desert city.
I'll tell you what's happened to me though. Well, first of all, that desert city, or Sniffit City, I guess they call it.
Yes.
Now.
Yes, Sniffit City.
One of my favorite tracks on the soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
By far.
Just, yeah,
and I love the soundtrack, but
yeah, the game does has pretty good music.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I went a few games without playing, but I cannot, for the life of me, get the jump timing right anymore.
Oh, really?
It was to the point that I wasn't even trying. It was like I was getting it at 100% every time.
Yeah.
Never an issue. And now I just cannot get the jump timing right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like to the point that it's so bad that it was to the point that maybe the area I'm in, like the timing is different for some reason. I don't know why it would be, but I actually went up and looked it up because I was so confused by why I just suck at this game all of a sudden.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm in the same place. And I mean, there's not much more to say about it. Still absolutely adore it. Yeah. And as much, well, I kind of mentioned this last week, like the area you're in now really changes up sort of the flow of the game. And now out on the ocean, it's kind of actually similar to the area you're in, but not exactly the same. So kind of changes it up again. So it's kind of been nice because it keeps it fresh.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm close to, I think that Finn and I both are close to finishing this area, which means we'll be down to one streamer left. So
although I don't know, he may be playing it now.
He's probably pulling ahead of me as we speak. The only other thing that I think there's only one other thing I've been playing this week. I'm gonna go back and check the list just to make sure. Yeah, so the Avengers beta went public.
Oh, right.
This weekend. I haven't played a lot of it because I only fired it up yesterday, and unfortunately it crashed pretty quickly.
Really?
Which, isn't a judgment of the game at all because it's a beta. So yeah, I played that, and I'm playing literally the part that they showed when they first showed the game, where you're sort of jumping around between Avengers. Like first you play as Thor, then you play as Iron Man, and then you play as Hulk. That's where the game crashed on me, is when I was playing as Hulk. But I was super excited to try it because I still think the characters look crappy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's Crystal Dynamics, so I'm thinking the gameplay is probably going to be there, right? Gotta say, what I played, I'm not feeling it at all.
Really?
No, I don't really like the combat. The flying as Iron Man felt awful. Mostly because it was moving so slowly. So like you start, and like the bridge is being attacked. The Golden Gate Bridge, I believe, is being attacked. So Thor and Iron Man fly off at first while the Avengers assemble. And you play as Thor. You get down and you're sort of in a brawl as Thor, and it's okay. I mean, it feels kind of old school God of War-ish.
Yeah.
You can throw the hammer and call it back, and you can aim and it all plays okay, but it feels very disjointed to me. And then you switch off to Iron Man, and so now you're kind of doing the same brawling stuff, but now you can hover, you can ascend and descend, and it makes everything feel super like everything stutters. Like I never felt like I could get into a flow with him for some reason. And then of course you get into sort of a chase sequence where there's airborne enemies, so you're chasing them and you have to shoot them. I don't think you really have control over the speed that you're going. And that part felt just really bad. It felt slow.
Oh, really?
And not particularly fun. And then I played a little bit as the Hulk, and like I said, that's where it crashed on me. But I mean, Hulk, plays as a tank. Obviously, he runs around and he just smashes a lot of stuff.
It's like Hulk's famous catchphrase, Hulk crash.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
So anyway, yeah, wasn't really feeling it. I really expected to be more excited about it. Even I had already accepted the visuals.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the reason why I'm not finding it very exciting. But I'm not I'm definitely not gonna be running out to buy it first day.
Well, it's a service game,
I hear that
so
it's
it'll
really
be around
improved.
a while.
That's fair.
Be around a while.
That's fair. But the reason that I didn't play a ton this week is because I finished up the latest episode of Generation 16.
Yeah.
And the
CJ, what was your favorite part of it?
Oh, here we go.
I don't want to spoil it for the listeners.
Greg, I watched it.
I know you did.
I watched it.
I know you did.
As a proud Patreon supporter, I certainly sat down and watched it.
There you go.
CJ's a Patreon supporter too.
I am.
I will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I actually took advantage of it. So
getting a lot of really positive feedback. It's early release, getting a lot of really positive feedback on it, which is fantastic. But just wanted to bring that up because general release, I'm going to do a premiere on YouTube. So the general release will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern this Wednesday night. So that's the 19th, 20th, I believe. Is it the 19th?
Yeah.
Let me check and make sure I have this right.
I don't know.
It's
a long episode, though.
It's a long episode. I hope. I was saying to Scoop Jessica, actually, who we all know. I was talking to her a little bit about it today, and just saying I didn't realize how emotionally invested I'd gotten into this episode because I mean I've gone a long time in between episodes before, but I don't think I've put this much effort into one.
Yeah.
I've been working pretty nonstop on this for 7 months now. I mean, it would have been a lot shorter if I did this for a living, but you know, but I'm finding I'm actually getting a little bit emotional anytime someone writes to me and says this is really well done, you did a great job and everything. So it was nice. I haven't had anyone tell me it's crap yet, but I'm sure that'll happen too.
It's the internet, so
yeah, exactly. But anyway, premiere on Wednesday night, the 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube/Sewart. So please come by and hang out while we chat and watch an hour-long video. It's on of course, I can say now, it's on the history of the Pioneer Laser Active.
excellent.
But Greg,
Yes.
I thought your show was all about the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to say this here because I put this in the weekly commute, and the episode's going along now anyway. But because I should actually thank you, Phil, for this.
You absolutely
were instrumental in this.
Of course, I am. As I am in all things.
So yeah, I am going chronological, and I actually have a couple games left to cover for 1990. Laser Active came out in 1993. However, I have spent a fair amount of money on the different versions of Genesis hardware that came out. This one is definitely the most interesting to me. And late last year, I spent a little bit more money to get this unit working properly because it wasn't really working. Right. And I remember saying, actually, on this, not on this show, but after we recorded this show one night, that I felt like I should maybe cover this machine now because these old machines break down, especially these old machines that have disk drives in them.
Right.
And, I wanted to get it sorted out before it broke down on me. Plus, which if it's still working and I decide I don't want to hang on to it, I can flip it for more money towards later episodes. But I was lamenting the fact that I didn't own any games for it, and that the games for it are really expensive.
Right.
Like the pack-in.
Explain
Sorry.
what a laser active is.
So a laser active.
Nobody knows what a
Nobody
laser
knows.
active is.
Sorry. So the laser active was a machine that came out in '93 from Pioneer, and it's a Laserdisc player.
Mhm.
It's a combi player, so it's Laserdisc and CD. But this was before DVD, so it wasn't a DVD combo. But you could buy packs for it. You could buy a Sega pack and an NEC pack and a karaoke pack. And because the system has this little cavity in the bottom left where you plug this thing in, and if you plug in the Sega pack, then you can play Genesis or Mega Drive cartridges, depending on what region you're in. It has a cartridge slot, and you can play Sega CD games, and you can play what are known as Mega LD games. So they're literally laser active Genesis specific games on laser discs. And then if you have the NEC pack, same thing. You can play Turbo Chip games, you can play Turbo Duo games, and you can play LD ROM games, which are again TurboGrafx Laserdisc games. And they're super expensive because there were very few of these systems sold. There were very few games made, and they've sold even worse because they were like $120 a piece back in the day. So the pack-ins are probably the cheapest games you can get, and those go for well over $100 today. But when you get into the mid-level stuff, you're talking $500 to $600 a game, and when you get into the really rare stuff, you're talking $1,200 or more per game.
Yikes!
There are 3 or 4 games that are they're over $1,000 generally. So I kind of wanted to cover what I could of this episode, or in this episode, because I knew I was never going to afford, and I would never get my hands on the whole library. And I figured now is the time to do it, and then I can sort of move past it and move on with the chronological order. And that was when Phil said, "Hey, I know somebody who has a full laser active collection."
Yes, indeed.
I happen to work with him.
Yep.
Let me give you his name. I'll talk to him, and maybe he could help out. That, of course, is Stephen Thomason.
Yep.
Who we actually had dinner with when I came over there for PAX last year. Was that last year? It feels like a million years ago.
That was last year.
My current boss, he was also my boss at Nintendo Power.
Right.
Yes.
And unbelievably, so that was cool enough. So Phil talked to Steven for me, gave him my name. We connected. I don't know this guy. I never met this guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy. Told him what was up, and I said, okay, I've got this extra Elgato capture card. Would you consider, if I sent this to you, just take some footage of the games that you have, right? Because he has a full set, but some of them are unopened.
Yeah.
And obviously I would never expect someone to open them. So would you consider doing that? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. He says, actually, I have some duplicates. If you want, I'll ship those to you. And I was just like, what? Like, these games are average $400 or $500 a piece.
Right.
And he shipped a whole set, not the entire set, but a whole bunch of them to me.
Yeah.
Just to borrow.
Yeah.
So that made this a much bigger project. And now what's going to happen is, moving forward, I'm going to cover all the games that I've bought a few of them myself to fill in some of the gaps. Because again, he only sent a few. He's going to take footage of the other ones he has open, but he only has one copy of, which obviously he didn't send to me.
Right.
But there's a couple he has that are closed. So I filled in some gaps personally. So between he and I think we're going to be able to cover almost the entire library. There's a couple of sort of holy grails there, but I'm considering maybe, well, I do generate a little bit of revenue from these episodes. So I'm going to start saving up, and hopefully some of these, there's a couple expensive ones that I'm hoping I can get enough money together to cover too, and eventually have at least all the Mega LD games covered on my channel. So this is the beginning of that.
How many Mega LD games are there?
24.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And between he and now, there's about 5 like soft porn games that I'm not going to cover individually. I might do an episode about, hey, these are a thing.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I mean, you want to enjoy those.
Yeah. Those
privately
are for me.
Right. No. Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
So there's about 19 of them otherwise that I want to cover. And I'd say between the two of us right now, we've got about 15 or 16 of them covered.
Okay.
So yeah,
including all of the adult ones.
No, those are the he doesn't have. Those aren't, as far as I know, he does not have those. And I'm not there. Those ones are $500 or $600 a piece.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
So I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so this turned into a big ad for the new episode, but please come by and hang out and watch the episode on Wednesday night. Getting lots of really positive feedback about
it's
it.
A very
I
good
think
episode.
it's interesting.
It's a
Thank
very
you.
good episode.
And I hope the effort shows. So
it's a little over an hour long, right?
Yeah, the credits run at just about the 1 hour mark, 1 hour and 4 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but thank you, Phil, for
Yeah.
putting me in touch with Steven. Of course, a huge thank to Steven
Yeah.
for, being generous beyond generous.
Yeah. Well, he is a big collector of he has a massive collection of games, and he's like super, like, he only wants the mintiest of the mint condition ones and stuff like that. Yeah, he's pretty hardcore into it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with how it came out. So I'm hoping this is something that helps put the channel. The channel's been kind of sitting where it's at for the last few years, and I'm hoping it kind of gives it the bump that it needs. So
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing and why I wasn't playing other stuff.
Phil,
Yeah.
what do you got?
Well, honestly, we've pretty much covered. This week the bulk of what I've been playing has been the wee bit of Paper Mario I played. Some Fall Guys. I haven't had much time to play games this week because I've been too busy watching the latest Generation 16, which I know not everyone here has been doing that. So
I was too busy pirating.
Nessie, you shouldn't do that.
That's against the law.
On Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Nessie, I thought you purchased that game.
I did 2 years ago. I'm still playing it.
Oh, okay.
You're definitely getting your money's worth out of that.
I am
really
squeezing every bit of value out of that game. Let me tell you.
That's really all I've played this week are those couple of games. I mean, I've
Cool.
played just random little things here and there. I picked up. They're having a sale on Lego games on Steam this week. So I picked up like Lego Batman 3 on Steam just to have it.
That's one I don't have actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I picked that up and was playing a little bit of that, and like I was just like, oh, I'm gonna play a little Earth Defense Force 5 just because I feel like shooting some giant bugs. So I was playing some of that. But
didn't you play? I think I saw this on your Twitter. You played Burger Time because the Arcade Archives.
Oh, did we not talk about that on the show?
We talked about that last week.
I thought we did. Maybe not. Yeah. Excuse me. Burger Time.
Yes.
Arcade classic Burger Time
that you
came out.
Don't like
as an arcade archive, and boy, oh boy, Burger Time is one of those games because I certainly played it when I was a kid when it was new.
Same, yeah.
I played it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And even back in the day, I played it a lot.
Yeah,
but it was
even back in the day.
It was never one of my favorite games.
No,
even back in the day. And it feels like one of those classic arcade games that I should love.
Yeah,
because it's such a well-known classic arcade game. And it's very iconic. It has such a weird theme, running over giant burger ingredients to squash the anthropomorphic pickles and eggs that are chasing after you. You're the chef. You're Peter Pepper, the renowned burger chef. And it's got such a distinct look. The graphics are great. It's got a really catchy little tune that plays in the background. It's so unique in its premise. It feels like a game that I should love, but
don't.
Boy, I don't. And I keep trying to. I keep trying to. Whenever I see, it's Burger Time. I love Burger Time, right? And I'll play it. And it's like, I don't. The control is just kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Peter Pepper
Well,
just
back in the day, you could blame that on, the joystick must just be
right.
a little faulty.
Well, also back in the day, I mean, I was what, 7, 8
Yeah.
when that game came out.
So you had discerning tastes.
I didn't know what bad control was. I mean, you know, I can still remember the
I
first.
just wanted to play something while I was waiting for my pizza.
Well, that's just it,
There
right?
you go. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I can distinctly remember the first time I played a video game and it registered in my head, this is a bad game. Like the first time I realized
Oh,
that video
really?
games could be bad.
Could be bad.
Yeah, because I mean, when I was a kid, video games were a new medium. They were a new thing. You know,
Back in the dawn of time.
my parents did not know from video games. This was something that was being introduced to me as a child, as a new technology that exists. And as far as I was concerned, video games were video games. And all video games are great because they're video games and video games are fun.
Sure.
And yeah, I may like Pac-Man more than Space Invaders, but if Space Invaders is there, I'm playing Space Invaders and I'm having a good time with it because it's a video game.
Yep.
And yeah, if I play Burger Time and the control is not as precise as it is in Qbert, let's say, then I didn't chalk that up as a fault of Burger Time. It's just, this is how Burger Time plays. And maybe I have to fight a little harder to get Peter Pepper to climb up a ladder, or indeed to get off of a ladder when I want him to get off of a ladder. But yeah, playing it now, I'm just like, these controls suck. And I'm dying, not because I am doing something wrong. I'm dying because I'm pushing left and right to get off of this platform, or to get off of this ladder onto the platform, and he's simply not responding to my inputs, and the little pickle guy comes down the ladder and hits me and kills me. And now I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, the stage layouts, they're very vertical in scope. You don't have a lot of kind of left and right movement. It's a lot of up and down movement, which, feels restricting. And then also when you have that problem of not being able to consistently climb up or down in this vertically oriented game,
Yeah.
it's not a lot of fun.
Okay. All right.
I really wish I loved Burger Time, because boy, it seems like a game I should love.
Yeah.
But I can't get into it. But
Okay.
I still bought it, so they got my money.
They got your $8.
They got my $8, and
Yeah.
I can say I own Burger Time. But what's that gonna get me? For the record, by the way, the first video game that I played, that I specifically, when it finally clicked in my head that, video games can be bad.
Yeah.
Like, not even that I don't like them, that this is just a bad game. It was an Atari 2600 game.
Yeah.
Go figure. Called Bugs. And I don't
Probably
know
played that, but I couldn't tell you.
It's I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. Bugs, Atari
Bugs.
2600. I remember I got it as a gift. It was by a company called Data Age. I received it as a birthday present.
Do you yell at your mother?
No, it wasn't from. It was from a friend. One of my friends, not one of my good friends.
Clearly.
Not after this, anyway.
But I believe I was having my birthday party at Showbiz Pizza. And I definitely got, it was a gift from one of my friends. And this was probably 83.
Oh, it's a shooter.
Okay.
It was probably 83, maybe 84. It was probably like, right as the crash was happening or during the crash.
Yeah, so games were getting dirt cheap.
During the video game crash of 1983, you could go into, and this is not an exaggeration, you could go into a grocery store And at the front of the grocery store, there would be a giant bin, just a giant monstrous bin with hundreds of Atari 2600 games just thrown in there for like
nothing.
For like a buck or two.
I vividly remember like my best friend's family, they had like a cedar chest.
Yeah.
And it was literally full to the top of just loose cartridges. And they didn't pay. They like,
of course.
Like that. They paid like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Like there was probably 150 games in there.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, and I mean, they would get marked down to 50 cents or a quarter.
Yeah.
Because video games were so big at the time that every store that could conceivably sell video games was selling them. You could go into
just limited to the electronics section of a
you could go into 7-Eleven
store
or a grocery store or a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Every store was selling video games. And when that crash happened, all those places were just,
well, they had tons of useless stock they had to get rid of.
We got to get rid of them. So here you go, 50 cents, give us a quarter, get it out of here. And it was all garbage by that point. This is what, so it wasn't like the, I mean, we joke about how bad 2600 Pac-Man is, and it's not great, but this is that was the high end stuff. Right. You're getting all this like no name stuff like Bugs by Data.
Chase the Chuck Wagon.
Well, Chase the Chuck Wagon was a promo game.
That was never game.
Yeah, that was you had to mail away for Chase the Chuck Wagon, didn't you?
Yeah, did you? And the Kool-Aid Man game.
Yeah, I think Chase the Chuck Wagon was like you had to mail proof of purchase to Purina to get that game, because that game's worth some money these days.
Yes.
Oh, is it really?
Worth some money.
Yeah. I believe that was a mail-in promo. I might be wrong.
Kool-Aid Man game, I think you could buy at a store.
Yeah, Kool-Aid Man you could buy at stores, but I think you could also
mail in
like your Kool-Aid points to get one of those. But so this was clearly my friend's mom was grocery shopping and was like, oh,
this would make a nice gift for a kid.
My kid has to go to a birthday party on Saturday.
I mean, you understand it now coming from the other
absolutely.
Yeah.
This 50-cent video game in this giant bargain bin at the grocery store will make a fine present for this 7 or 8 year old, whatever I was turning.
Sure.
So, but yeah, that was the first time I realized not only am I not enjoying this game, this is a poorly made game.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, at this point, I had beaten E.T. on the Atari 2600.
Oh.
I had played through that game.
Wow.
So clearly my tastes were not very discerning at that point in my life, but there you go.
All right.
Tweets?
Should we do tweets?
Let's do tweets.
A tweet or three.
Tweet.
All right, let's do this one from Hackrelius Lero, who says, do you think the 3D Mario collection will be a retail package, individual eShop titles, or this year's addition to Nintendo Switch Online? I say NSO. They do a lot of remasters, but not collections. Releasing them over a few months is a good way to keep buzz and build NSO subs. I think if they remake Mario 64 or Galaxy, it's definitely going to be a retail package.
I can't imagine it. I mean, first of all, we don't know that this is happening, right?
No, this is a rumor. First of all,
pure speculation.
If they're going to bundle it, I could see it being a retail package or just the Mario Galaxy games. But 64, I could see being something you buy separately.
I don't know. I think
digitally.
64 is such a prestige game. They're going to release it as a physical title. Like thinking of the games Nintendo has released that are digital only on the Switch. I mean, not even Tetris 99 even got a physical release. So
did Tetris is it an actual physical cart in there? I know there is a physical version, but is it just a download code in there?
I am not sure. Because I don't buy physical games on Switch, period.
I cannot imagine if this Mario collection is a thing.
If it's real.
I cannot imagine them not doing a retail version of it.
Right. They're doing a retail version of Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So anything Mario, they're definitely going to put on a store shelf, right? Because people will eat that up.
I mean, what was it? Like the Kirby collection that came out on Wii?
Wii, yeah.
I mean, that was certainly a physical thing.
Mario All-Stars?
Mario.
on
Yeah, I
Wii?
mean, going back to Mario. Oh yeah, Mario All Stars. They re-released Mario All Stars on Wii, and that was just
A ROM on a disc.
that was just a
ROM on a
Super
disc.
Nintendo
That's
ROM.
Very true.
So yes, of course, if there is a Mario collection,
Yeah.
whether it is one big collection with like Mario 64 or Mario the Galaxies and Sunshine, or if it is just like here's a remaster of 64, it's
Yeah.
absolutely there will be a retail version.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I cannot.
I don't even think if this thing is real and if they release it on the eShop, I think it'll be a collection there too. I don't think you'll be able to buy separate games.
Yeah.
I think they'll just do it all in one package.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 where you could buy them separately. I don't think they'll go that route.
Right.
On this. And I don't think it'll be an NSO game. I think NSO games, I mean, we got Tetris 99. That's really like the only, and we get the Super Nintendo and NES stuff.
Yeah.
But they haven't done anything more with
Yeah.
NSO
Now if they will sell Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii on a disc,
yeah,
they will
they're gonna
absolutely do it
physical. Yeah.
Yeah. And they might, because I mean the Mario All-Stars Wii game had like that kind of history of Mario booklet, right?
It did. Yeah.
I mean, I could see him doing like something a little more prestige.
Yeah.
But
yes.
not necessarily,
Not
although they did that
necessarily.
with the Kirby collection had like a
It did.
like a book or something included too, didn't they?
Yeah, and you remember when the Super Mario All-Stars Wii game came out, wasn't there a version of the Wii hardware that came with it and had like some special stuff? Like I wonder if they do Switch hardware that was like Mario themed. The Nintendo really hasn't done. I mean, we have the same Switch hardware more or less, standard Switch hardware anyway, that we did in 2017 when it launched, right?
Like
The neon blue.
Are you
and
talking
red
just like the colors,
gray.
like color schemes, like special color schemes?
Yeah, I mean they've done some special editions, but nothing that's stuck around more than just,
right,
for a promotion. If they did a Mario one, hopefully it'd be more widely available than some of the ones that they have done.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
it would be.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias 6 Squid Games, who says making dash the R button in Mega Man X completely changes the game, making it easier to take on bosses. Are there any controller configurations that you have made that have drastically altered a game for you?
I'll
tell you what,
I'm sure there are.
Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, I would change.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Because the strong attacks, I think, were on the shoulders initially.
Move the medium attacks to the shoulders.
I would move medium attacks to the shoulder
every time.
Yes,
because I only ever used the weak ones and the heavy ones. I never used the mid.
This is why none of us are.
Can I tell you how to make it even better?
What's that?
Play it on the Genesis with a.
Well, I mean, come on, come on. That's no fair. I don't.
I'm sure there have been lots of things. Like, I mean, I would think too, like the Sega Brawlers, the 3D games. You could put like button combos onto the extra buttons because they usually just had just had like a block, punch, and a kick, but then there were button combo. I think some of them were pre-mapped anyway, but I think you had control over them in some of those games.
Yeah.
It's like, if I wanted to hit XYZ at the same time or ABC at the same time, you could like just map that to a button.
Oh, okay.
Or like throw was usually a punch and block, and you could just map that to a button instead of having to hit both buttons at the same time.
Tell you what, in first-person shooters, I usually go, and I learned this from Halo, put the melee attack on the right stick button. I think it's called green thumb, or
that was
there's a specific
green thumb. I think that's it.
There's a specific name for it.
That's what I use.
I always go for that. Whatever. If it's called green thumb in Halo, it's called something different in some other games, but I always go with that configuration because when I'm playing a first-person shooter, I instinctively press down the right stick because of Halo to melee, just because.
What is it normally? What's the Halo melee
I
attack?
don't even know because I always switch to that.
Because I always switch to green thumb.
I think it's a face button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, the right thumbstick button always feels like a natural melee
Yes,
attack
it does. It does.
Are we counting like inverse controls for flight?
Perhaps.
Does that count?
Because normal people fly with inverse controls.
Yeah, you know what's weird though?
If it's a flying game, I'll do inverted controls. If it's not a flying game, I won't. And
You're weird.
I know, isn't that weird? I don't know.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to it. But there's some games where it's like, yes, if I need inverted controls, but there are other games like I'm trying to think like the Panzer Dragoon remake that just came out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I have it mapped to inverse controls.
You know what I tend to do is that, especially in a third person in a 3D game, but third person.
Yeah.
I usually invert the controls because in my mind, I'm visualizing where I'm moving the camera. Right. So like if I'm looking to up and to the left, I'm moving the camera down and to the right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, for me, is where I go. I don't know why. It's just that's how I'm wired, I guess. But yeah.
I've had to do that in like some of the Musu games as well, where like the right stick controls your camera, of course, and like if I want to pan the camera around me, like I'll push right on the stick, and like the camera will go, and I can't even tell you which way it would move right now, but like if I push the stick to the right, the camera would move in the opposite way that it should be moving in my head. But I mean, you can, they have inverse the horizontal controls there for the camera. So I've had to do that on occasion too.
Yeah.
Just because I would, be trying to look around a corner or something, and I'd move the stick, and suddenly I'm looking at a wall. So yeah, I've had to mess with that before.
I have tried to, like on the Xbox Elite controller, they have the paddles on the back. I don't know have you played
never
tried
used an
anything
Elite.
No.
With the paddles? They have for PlayStation now, they have the thing as does the back buttons on it, and you can remap. So with the Elite controller, you can remap the buttons that are normal that are on the controller, but you can't like add buttons. You can't like assign something that's not
like a macro
button on the controller. So you can like move something that's like right on the D-pad to one of the paddles, but you can't like make the paddle a completely new button assigned for something new, which is an interesting choice. So I toyed around with that on Sea of Thieves a little bit, but then like what I found would happen is I'd get in a battle, like an intense battle, and I'd accidentally press the paddles and mess up. So I just took off the paddles. Now I don't even use them. Anyway. That's all. That's my story. You like that?
Okay.
You're entertained.
I love it.
All right.
I'm entertained.
Clearly you are. I think we're done. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, we have an after show to do, so
we do.
I'm not against being done.
We should get to it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart whenever he's not actually editing an episode of Generation 16. You'll also find Generation 16 episodes on our website, the newest of which is going to debut as a YouTube premiere this Wednesday. So you might want to join
7:30 p.m. Eastern.
7:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes. Are you already planning your next episode of Generation 16?
I've already begun roughing out the script.
Excellent. You'll also find show notes and links to everything that we talked about. You will find links to like different games, laser active episodes of Generation 16. You'll find that on our website. You'll find probably a link to that Bugs game that Phil was talking about that made him hate video games. I'll probably track that down and put it in there. You'll find all kinds of things. And of course, there's also a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode and bugs with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening application. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out video archives of the past many years of our show. And of course, watch us live most weeks on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account at Player One Podcast or at P1 Podcast to find out when we are broadcasting our next live show. Usually, friends, it's Sunday nights at 5:30 Pacific time. Also, I'm going to point this out. You can go back and watch this on the YouTubes as well. It does not feel like it. It absolutely does not feel like it, but it has. We just passed our 1-year anniversary of episode 666.
We sure did.
So if you want to go back and relive special guest Satan's first appearance on the show, now's a good time. A year has passed, and what a year it has been. We should have called in a few favors from our Dark Lord friend to see what we could have done about this, but hindsight's always 20/20, I suppose. Hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Maybe if CJ gets enough financial support, it will convince him to go watch the latest episode of Generation 16. Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe. That's a big maybe. But you know what, friends? Your Patreon dollars do, of course, help support our show in so many ways. That helps keep the lights on, helps pay for this Zoom thing. It keeps us running all the technical crap every week. We certainly appreciate it. And, of course, if you are a $5 Patreon member, you do gain access to a special weekly bonus episode that we record right after these, where we crack wise, we play games, we have fun, we do all sorts of crazy stuff, the likes of which you've never seen before, and the likes of which you will never see again, friends. For some reason, my Alexa started saying something about Aretha Franklin's Respect. I don't know why. I don't know why she said that. She didn't start playing the song though, so
okay, that's weird.
I don't know what I could have said to activate that thing to make it just bring up Aretha Franklin's Respect, but not actually begin playing it. I mean, it's a great song. Aretha Franklin, immeasurably talented.
Pipes.
Yeah,
true.
But I don't know. Whatever the case is, that is available. If you want a sample of our post shows, CJ on Thursday nights have been posting some of our old ones from like 2 years ago. So give those a listen. They are still fun. They are mostly timeless in their content. So you can listen to us make fools of ourselves as we try and outsmart each other. A simple task
It's
when
true.
you are dealing with people of our mental fortitude.
If you have a couple arms fire.
If you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com. We will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding. And if this most recent episode has proven it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up and any Laserdisc-based offshoots thereof, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, when is Wednesday, right? Next Wednesday?
August 19th.
Wednesday.
7:30 p.m. Eastern. YouTube.com/Stewart.
Yeah, like in a day or two.
Yep.
Whenever this episode goes up. Tune in, folks. It's a good one. Pop up some corn. Kick back.
You've got some time.
Learn some video game history.
That's right.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you,
for
Phil.
all of this. I don't know about you, but I am sweltering.
I am also sweltering.
Goodness gracious.
It's very nice here.
I
don't even have my AC on right now, and it's very, very
hot.
I am scared, since some of you are still on video, I'm scared to turn around because I have a feeling that just the
we got the back sweat going.
I am, well, you know what?
Are you stewing in your own juices.
More so than usual.
More than usual. Yeah.
More-
I mean, I've not been leaning back on my chair, so
yeah.
there's at
I
least
have
some
been. I have been.
there's some airflow here, so but still, oof, I am not
Yeah.
comfortable. I
Me
also
neither.
my water, look at that bone. Okay, there's a little bit left in there, but bone dry, man. I gotta go get a refill. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you so very much.
Thank you, Philip.
As well, you should thank me. I'm great. And of course, thank you to our wonderful, wonderful listeners, each and every one of you. You are the best. We love you so much. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Do what you have to do to take care of yourselves and those you love around you. We will see you next week, dear friends.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodle oodles.